Okay, you're going to get your little piece of chipboard or poster board. You can use like a cereal box, anything like that. And you're going to cut this shape out, and there will be a cut file and a pattern for it. And then this is the support piece for the bottom of the base. It goes here. Then there will be a piece that says the cover for the support piece. I just freehanded this one. Yours will be a real cut file that is measured evenly all the way around. I just kind of did this because it was an afterthought. What I found is that if it was just paper, by the time you put the post on this way pushing up and the candy coming this way pushing down, that just the piece of cardstock there was not strong enough to hold that. You're going to put your chipboard in just like that. Try to get it even on the corners where these corners don't go over the edges. It's not the end of the world if you do. Just aim for that. Here's my trick to folding it. I just bring it over like that. I saw this years ago on the Carol Duvall show. If anyone remembers that. That was a very long time ago, but she is still the queen of crafts as far as I'm concerned. And I just get those started, and then I'll come around with glue. Now yours will have perfectly mitered corners when you're through, so that it meets perfectly right there. Like I said, I freehanded this one, but I did measure it, so there will be a cut file in the file. And the reason I did not put hot glue on this part is because it's too easy to get it uneven, and then it would be lumpy in the middle of your project and it wouldn't hold it straight, which is the whole reason we wanted to have it. Okay, I'm going to put glue on the base. Try not to get too close to the edge because I don't want it to go oozing out. But then again, you want a little so that it stays secure. And I am going to put that on there. It's not quite as big as your base. In fact, I freehanded this one and it was a little bit off, but that's okay. Yours will be perfectly square. And you could put something down in here to weigh it down to dry if you wanted to. I'm going to try to go on. I will put you can try to put rubber bands on the ends while it's drying to kind of hold it in place. I did try to put the support piece on the inside at first, but it didn't work as well. Something about having the weight distributed on the bottom where you're putting pressure on the corners as well as the middle helped, so that you put it on the box that was already assembled. That helped. If I just put it on the inside, then my corners were still sagging. So, hope that makes sense. I'm going to glue this to the top of the post. And hopefully get it in the middle. And that's not the edge I wanted to show, but it will work. Make sure you got that pretty even while you still have a little bit of time to play with it. So I'm going to let this dry and do the acetate part. Here's my little cover or pattern, and I'm going to put it on the edge of the acetate. If you're having a hard time getting it to stay in place, you can take a little piece of washi tape and tape it in place. Washi tape is good for all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to take my pen again and mark along the side that I'm going to cut. I put the pattern flush with this side and this edge so that I only have to cut two edges, this one and this one. So I'm marked where I'm going to cut that one. I'll turn it and mark where I'm going to cut this edge. And then I'm going to mark this part and make sure I get in those lines right there. And I'm going to cut this away, so I'm going to cut that part away. And so this was just a fine tip Sharpie. You can use whatever you want. You're going to be cutting it away, and really the part you're marking isn't going to be seen once you have your lid on and have this down in your candy machine. So I will take the washi tape off and cut this with my cutter, my paper cutter. I should specify that. Okay, my bottom line. This Fisker's cutter has a little wire to show you where it's actually going to cut. That's handy sometimes. Fisker's isn't always good about having their measurements exactly right, but this one happens to be. And I'm going to measure that side and cut off. And then I'm going to see where this little inside piece gets cut and line that up and just get it started there. And then I can take my scissors and cut up to that one and up to that one. Now, hopefully you can kind of see this. I'm going to put the pattern back on it. And I'm going to get my scoreboard out. And let me zoom out a little. I'm going to line these up. And you know what? I'm going to turn it the other way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I've already folded the piece of paper so that helps me see what I'm doing. I'm going to line up where that fold is on the acetate sheet. And I've drawn a line with a Sharpie marker down one of the grooves so that I can line it up at the top and the bottom. I've seen a lot of people do that on videos on YouTube. And so you're just scoring the acetate so you'll know where to fold it. And it doesn't have to be a really crisp fold, you just need to get it started that direction. I'm lining up this edge and this edge, and I'm going to score. Whoops. And what might be easier is to use my metal stylus for this. I'm going to line up the edges and score. And this one. Well, it doesn't want to work on that one. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of bend that a little to get it going in the direction that I want it. It doesn't have to be a crisp fold, because if you make too sharp of a fold, you get a white line, which is okay. But I don't want it to be too folded. Which, with the transparency, it doesn't want to fold anyway. Or a piece of acetate. I don't know why I keep saying the wrong thing. There we go. Those little inside tabs, fold those back. Take the rubber bands off. You're going to make sure that this fits, kind of like dry fitting. If you're cutting wood or anything, they say measure twice and cut once. And then they dry fit it to make sure that it got cut correctly. At least that's what I've seen people do. I've never actually done that. And once I get it situated, that's going to fold. But I need to fold my corners a little more. After I said don't do it too much. I'm making sure the ends are flush. There's the word again. Again, you can fold that up however you need to get it in there. You want to make sure that your opening in the acetate is open to the right side. And I see the problem. There. I need to fix this. I'm going to have to trim a little piece of this tab piece. On this side, this part. I didn't cut exactly right and it didn't look good. Okay, so it's going to fit well when I get it in there. So I'm going to take it out and put some tape on it. I'm going to use red line tape. You could use this 1/4 inch. This is the 1/2 inch. I'm going to put it on the very edge. And trim. And on the round one I marked where it's going to meet. On this one I don't need to because it was meeting with that corner right there. That was just fitting into the corner. So I didn't measure it. But I didn't get it straight. That's a good thing about acetate. If you don't get it straight the first time, you can take it off and do it again. Okay. So there's my opening. I made it where the seam's not in the back, directly back, so that it was a little hidden. And I'm going to make it fit back in there again. There. Fits just right. So I'm going to put some glue in it like I did on the round one. And this one, I'm not going to put it in the very corner because this part goes straight down and it doesn't fit the same way. I'm going to put it just away from the corner a little bit. Then I'll show you what else to do. Oops. I should not have. I haven't put the handle on. Well, at least I caught it before. Or this. Or anything. Okay, I'm going to fit that in there. You can watch the other video where I take that a little slower and explain what I'm doing. I'm going to glue this flap onto this part. I already glued that part in because I already had hot glue in there. I'm going to take my cover and put it on the outside here where it's flush with, there you go again. Make sure that's straight. And for the handle, that's where your handle part's going to go. We're going to go mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, and then I'm going to make mountain, right, mountain, valley, mountain. Then go mountain again, flip it over. I'll do that slowly. Mountain, valley, mountain. Then you're going to go mountain again. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, and flip it. No. Okay. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley, flip it over, and then stand it upright. Okay, I'm going to put glue on this part, fold that up. I'm going to go back, put a little glue on the other side of that. And I will have to find the brad. There it is. Okay. And put some glue on in between those two folded pieces. Put the brad part in that little hole and open it up. And now we're going to put the acetate in. If it doesn't want to go in, make sure these little tabs that are going to this side and this side are cooperating. And there you have it. All it needs is some candy. Well, I say that. Let's see if I can get the lid on. There. Now, there you have it. Really cute, worth the effort. And again, this folds up. Oh, by the way, make sure you have that folded up and locked in place before you put the candy in. And then you can take your lid off, put your candy in, put the lid back on. Open it up and get your candy. just like this one. Oh, and I put a little bow down here to hide all the glue that ends up showing where you glue those two pieces together. I put a little bow to cover that up. And you can have some candy. And after doing all that work, you deserve a piece of candy. Okay, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you have fun with this. You can get the cut files or patterns off my Etsy site. And the name of the Etsy shop is Paper Compulsions. You can find me at papercompulsions.blogspot.com. Thank you. I appreciate you staying with me. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun.